G'day and welcome back to the channel. Today is the last day before Season M2 ends and we move to Season M3. So I thought we had some success with our Rain team previously. So we'll give it one last run before the meta potentially changes. So we've got our first opponent. We got Sizzle, Politoed, and Archeludon, bit of a rain team, but then they've also got a Sableye, Sinistra, and the Scovillian. So they're obviously doing a rain to protect the Scizor. And they've also got an alternate mode. But I think it's okay if we lead our Archeludon and Basculegion. We can keep our Pelipper in the back, unless we're expecting them to bring rain. Or do we even need rain? Do we need the flying? We do need special attackers, because Scovillian is going to burn. So we have to be mindful of the Rage Powder. But I reckon... I reckon a Pelipper and the Meganium will get us over the line. We kind of need Mega Meganium because of the Weather Ball against if they decide to bring their Sizzle. But they've got some utility options that we're going to have to navigate around. So we'll see what they decide to bring. They are on a 6-win streak. So they're having a good day. So they've got Shinies, Sableye, and Archeludon. So they could just as easily fake out Archeludon here. So if we just bring the rain and start wave crashing, they could just as easily electro-shot us. Because they could set up the rain. I think that's fine. No, I think in that case, Dragon Pulse Archeludon, and we'll flip turn on the Sableye. There's a few choices there. Not quite sure. You gotta take turn one with a bit of caution. They could just as easily swap Politoed out, or Sableye Rain Dance, which enables the Electro Shot from... Oh, that's decent damage in the rain. Thank you for that. Yeah, so they're obviously going to Electro Shot this slot. So I could just as easily bring Pelipper in. I don't see an overtly wrong reason with that. I don't really want to... I could sack Meganium early, but I kind of need Meganium for the late game. So we'll get Pelipper in. It'll survive with the Focus Sash. Okay, so our Dragapult is faster, does about 36%, so 3-hit KO. They've gone for the Electroshock. So we don't really need the Tailwind here. Oh, they went for Electroshock on Archeludon. Righto. But yeah, we survived that. Get a bit of... Okay, so we're both leftovers. So this could be interesting. We're either speed tied then, or we are faster. They've got no real way to shut down the... How much did that do? Pretty decent amount. So if we Electroshock in return, or do we try and get rid of the Sableye? Yeah, if they can't Oko us last turn, although they're up one this turn. I got a plan. Because yeah, there's the Protect, so we're covered for that. They're going to Light Screen, so that's going to slow us down. So that's kind of like the opposite to Scovillian with the Burn. But we're at least going to be able to get our Electroshock out. And this should take down the Sableye. hopefully. We get a +1. And that'll do the job. So let's see if they decided to go for Politoed in the back or they went for the Mega Scovillian. If they brought Mega Scovillian, then our Meganium loses a bit of value, I think. So again, we'll adjust after we get to see what they reveal. Okay, so it is Sinistra. So we're going to see some redirects. The hospitality is obviously going to be nice there. But we could just as easily protect in return. We're now +1, they're now +1. So let's protect a turn. And I'm expecting a Rage Powder to redirect off Archeludon so they can use their Archeludon. But we're going to protect, expecting Rage Powder, which they did. So that indicates that they're probably going to try and use their Archeludon to take out ours. We'll at least get the Hurricane off, which should do decent damage. Almost 60%. And then they'll Electroshot, hopefully into our Archeludon. Because I think that's their big threat at the moment. No. So, unfortunate for us, we've over prepped. We at least hang on, and we have speed control. So yeah, I think their Archeludon is quite slow. So if that's the case, we can push some buttons here, and we can see our Archeludon is faster than our Pelipper. So let's actually... No, we've got the +1. Let us Electroshock something and Hurricane something. Okay, so no Rage Powder this turn. We should get our +2 Electroshock onto their Archeludon, which could be good. Come on. Oh, not a lot. That is very specially defensive. I mean, the defense increase is only blocking physical, but even with our +2, we're still not doing a lot. So the Archeludon is going to become a bit of an issue for us, I believe, because it's going to continue to Electroshock. But they're 2 down at the moment, so as long as I guess we don't keep hitting it, our Vascular Legion could probably take it down late game, but it's getting quite strong, quite threatening. So yeah, now I guess, given it was Sinistra, would you really bring Scovillian? Or is it Sizzle? Yeah, Scovillian. Righto. So again, we're in a pretty decent position here. I think we protect a turn, or do we... How many turns of rain have we got left? We got 1 turn of rain, so I think we gamble. Because again, they could just as easily Rage Powder here. So I think actually in that scenario, we just protect on our Archeludon, and we just try and Hurricane their Scovillian. They might be able to predict that, but my theory is, I don't mind losing Pelipper right now. He's obviously not contributing overly. But our Archeludon is up +2, so it's not, I don't want to throw it away. And it's quite fast on the field. So they're going to Mega Evolve Scovillian. So now it gets the Spicy Breath. We'll protect our Archeludon. Okay, no protect on their side. So we can see how much that does. And again, Pelipper just shreds Sinistra and the Scovillian, which is good. But we're going to have to get rid of that Scovillian before our Vascular Legion gets on the field, for sure. But let's see who they decided to target with this. Again, the Pelipper. So I guess they're reading our protects probably. Trying not to overly just sacrifice our... Unless they just expected that to pick up. But rain has stopped. We'll get a little bit from leftovers. And we get our Meganium in. So yeah, we are banking on Basculegion late game. Maybe too heavily, but we'll see. We will be able to Dragon Pulse. Are they going to Rage Powder? Are they going to Protect? We could Dazzling Gleam. And I think that's going to cover both. Because they're going to be locked out of Electroshock shot in the future. So they're not going to be able to Lightning or Electricity our Basculegion. But I think they're at +3 or +4 now. So I think even a Dragon Pulse would be able to do it. But we get a Dragon Pulse off. Ooh, that's decent. Was that a crit? Or was that just big damage? Oh, the light screen wore off. So, advantageous for us. I think Basculegion should be able to clean up from here. Oh, wow, we even get burned on a Dazzling Gleam. There you go. So this is Big Plum Flash Cannon. Completely takes us out. And then, okay, yeah, we were low enough to not survive that. So our Wholesome Hope is on our Basculegion. Oh, no, only their light screen just wore off. So maybe we should have protected a turn. That Dazzling Gleam would have been big enough to... And the Dragon Pulse might have been big enough to clean up. So that was me not overly paying attention. Given the Scovillian has like Flamethrower, likely has Leech Seed, we've seen Rage Powder, or have we? If we don't, we're going to see it now, for sure. Yeah, there's the Rage Power, so that'll direct our Basculegion to get the burn. But we'll get the KO on Scovillian, we'll get the burn, and we'll see if plus Archeludon can take us out. If not, I think we win. But let's see what Big Dragon Pulse does. Yeah, easy enough to take us out. So that was definitely late game misplayed on my behalf. I wasn't paying attention to the light screen. If I'd waited a turn, we would have been in a better position. We could have even won with that Basculegion, I reckon. But again, there's a lot to pay attention to when battling. There's all these different effects playing out, and you've got to kind of lock in and get your brain on overdrive. But again, all comes with experience. See who we're paired up against next. Morgan with the Charizard, Hydreigon, Incineroar, Mamoswine, Sneasler, and a Toxapex, which we are seeing a bit of recently. So, I think we need to lead our Basculegion Archeludon with Pelipper in the back to block some rain. And I don't think Meganium's going to be a good choice here. But neither is Dragonite. Is Sneasler any better? So I'm worried Mamoswine obviously destroys Dragonite. And also, yeah, so we've got to really try and take out their Mamoswine, I reckon. Or we just go no Mega. Yeah, no, we're going to go Dragonite. I think if we can get the rain up, Dragonite Hurricanes will do well. Otherwise, yeah, we're going to be having to navigate around their Mamoswine very heavily if they decide to bring it. You got 2 seconds, 1 second. Or if you select 4 and let the time run out, whether it would take your selected 4. Maybe something to test, but they have decided to lead with the Hydreigon and Mamoswine, so they're going all in. So our biggest threat is the Mamoswine. We are super effective against it. I reckon. Because what's Aqua? We could flip turn. I don't know if we need to wave crash. Oh, we could just get it right out of the way, I reckon. We wave crash and swap to Pelipper. I expect Hydreigon to also be Choice Scarfed with things like Dark Pulse, Draco Meteor, maybe a Thunderbolt. But let's see what they decide to go with. We're Jolly Max Speed, so we should also be able to just scout. Okay, so we see a Snarl straight up. So they've locked into that, and they're just going to attack our special attack. But we should get our super effective Stab Wave Crash off in the rain, and it's Choice Focus Sashed. So that is going to come and bite us, assuming it's an Earthquake coming. Yeah, there's the Earthquake. So Hydreigon's locked into Snarl at very fast speeds. Mamoswine is not locked in, but went for Earthquake. I think it might be too early for Dragonite, or just early enough. Because we got 147, so Archaeolodon's actually faster. But the Snarl's going to be annoying. I reckon we'd be fine. Who did they have in the back, is the question. Probably Charizard, maybe, for a bit of Sun? Maybe, yeah, okay. Cool. I reckon. We could just as easily Dragon Pulse the Hydreigon, because it's locked into Snarl. And we just Weather Ball the Mamoswine. I think we should be fine. They might Ice Shard us, and that's going to be a huge risk. But yeah, there's the Snarl. We avoid. That is certainly advantage. We survive on 1, even with the crit. So that's very lucky. We get Dragon Pulse off, and not enough to KO. And yeah, there's the Mamoswine Ice Crash that we were worried about. But in a different circumstance, they were really getting that Pelipper down, which likely means we're going to lose the Weather War. So yeah, I'm expecting Charizard to potentially be in the back. But we're in not a bad position. We can definitely Electroshock that slot. Try and, while the weather's up, pick up a +1 special attack. We're definitely getting Ice Sharded here on the Dragonite to break our multi-scale, and then Snarl's going to absolutely wreck us. So yeah, we didn't bring enough for this lead, unfortunately. Because yeah, Snarl's going to neg our special attack. Dragonite's going to Hurricane. But okay, so we still get our +1 special attack back from the Electroshock, which is okay. Yeah, and this will go finish off the Hydreigon. So now we're likely to see maybe if they brought in Incineroar for the Sun, but they've seen everything of ours. They've KO'd everything. Yeah, turn 1 was pretty rough. Try to navigate that as best we could, but it's not put us in a great position, and Mamoswine is an absolute threat. So yeah, there's the Charizard. So if we Electroshock now, that's bad. They're likely going to Mega Evolve. So best we could do is... Yeah, we don't have like a Weather Ball here, do we? Because yeah, we're going to get Ice Sharded here. So let's just actually Protect. Because I'm expecting Mega Evolution. I'm expecting Ice Shard on the Dragonite. So we'll see if we can block that and do some damage on the Charizard. But Charizard protected. Okay. We've also protected. So if they've read our read, then again... No? Okay. So yeah, we kind of read each other at the same level then. So the question is... Do I now pivot and try for the double protect? Is the Ice Shard going to kill me? Alright, let's try something diabolical. We're trying to play with them, they're trying to play with us, but they're not having any games. Ice Shard just KOs. So we should have gone for the double protect then. I don't think the crit hit mattered. ×4 on a Mamoswine Ice Shard is big damage. Yeah, Heat Wave is enough to KO in the sun. Righto. Again, yeah, outplayed. No good. So, yeah, we had a pretty decent run with our Rain team, but we are now just getting absolutely folded. And we're losing rank left, right, and center. So let's see if we can have a couple comeback matches. So Mamoswine Hydreigon lead. Maybe the Sneasler. Do a bit of fake out pressure. I mean, obviously, if we knew that it was Focus Sashed, we could have navigated around that a bit better. But new opponent. Certainly a bit more random, but Kimmy reckons they've got a plan. So they've got a couple fake out options. So in this scenario, we run our fake out Pelipper. They've got Gengar and Como. So you need a fairy, but the fairy then gets poisoned. So then you need something that kills Gengar, which is Basculegion. We've got Sneasler. I think Meganium might have a hard time here. So I reckon Dragonite is the play. So yeah, I don't know how well Archeludon is going to do in this matchup. And yeah, I think Meganium was at a huge disadvantage. So they are a Gengar Professor, whatever that means. So yeah, they've decided with Gengar Whimsicott. So we have to navigate this very carefully because there's all sorts of shenanigans that can go on here. But I reckon... so what's that? That's 100. So I think we Weather Ball their Gengar. And if we try and fake out their Whimsicott and they protect, they can just Encore us into fake out. So we're just going to have to gamble and go for broke because we've been stung too many times in the past. So there's the Whimsicott protect, expecting the fake out, which then catches us on the Encore. But they've double protected. Okay. So yeah, if we went fake out Tailwind there, we would be in an absolute world of hurt. So we've gone, yeah, for Weather Ball, and so we can't swap out now. We can try Hurricane to block the disable. And we're going to have to maybe Diaclaw again. Hopefully they're Encore, and there's the Encore. So that's fine. That's what we were doing anyway. We were going to Diaclaw. But then Gengar disables that. So, yeah, even didn't matter what we chose. Either way, we're going to be struggling. But we Hurricane to try and avoid that kind of disable shenanigans. And then we go back to Weather Ball. Because we can't really... We're going to get Encored and disabled again next turn, and we can't do anything about that. And yeah, it's not even giving us a choice for Sneasler. So we're just going to go on a struggling rampage, it would seem. So it's a combo that I've thought about doing. I'm keen now, if we Sneasler no moves, we just struggle, do 18%, and the recoil. Pelipper's also going to be struggling. Oh, doesn't struggle, just doesn't do anything. But now I'm hands off. I can't select anything because I am fully locked into struggling. So yeah, Sneezer's got my moves, continues to struggle. That is a rough lead. They'll Moonblast us. We stay alive. I mean, even if we... As I'm imagining the moment we get to choose something different, they just double protect again, and then whatever we chose, Encore and disable us. So... What can we do to get out of this? Not a lot, it would seem. Because, yeah, if we go into Dragonite right now, where we're locked in, we can't pivot because Mega Gengar. We can try a Hurricane. They can't Encore or disable us. Oh, what can Sneasler do? Can we attack, can we? We can't swap out. Diaclaw is disabled, but I can close combat. Righto, let's do that then. So yeah, expecting double protect here so they can Encore and disable us next turn. Because they have absolute speed control. But they don't. They just try and Sludge Bomb us. Okay. That might work against them, because we should be able to Hurricane them in return now. We get a close combat off. Not enough to KO, unfortunate. But we get our White Herb, so we get Unburdened now. So we've regained speed control. But the Moonblast is faster than us. We still live. So that was a series of fortunate events that allows us to now KO their Gengar. So now we've got to start navigating this with... Or not. We are out of navigating. Because, yeah, the poison from the Sludge Bomb has taken us out. So, yeah, we'll see what they've got in the back. We're just going to basically be locking into Last Respects and hoping. So, we can Last Respects into here, because I don't think there was... where am I doing? That one? Yeah, Last Respects is good. We're not locked into close combat. So let's try and Diaclaw. Again, likely could protect here. They've gone for Tailwind. Not much we could do in that scenario. Clanging Scales is enough to AoE us. But that'll knock down Sneasler and give us an extra 50 base power on our Basculegion. So, not terrible. This should KO. And it does. Maybe Basculegion clutches us out here. Because, yeah, I don't know if our... unless that's got a Focus Sash, which is very likely. We're locked into Last Respects here. They've got Tailwind up. I mean, there'd be no point encoring us. They could just as easily Moonblast and Thunderbolt, and that's likely what they're going to do. So we'll see if the Moonblast doesn't KO. But again, they've had speed control. They've got Volt Tackle. That's a cool animation. That's Raichu's signature move. And yeah, Gengar Whimsicott. Absolutely brutal. We tried our best to circumnavigate that, but it was not enough. All right, we've got time for one more, and then we'll wrap up today. I've got some changes and some new teams that I'm thinking about testing. But obviously, with the M3 released tomorrow, the expectation is that we're going to have a whole new bunch of Pokemon, which will keep a lot of developers busy, adding them all in. So there may be a bit of downtime post tomorrow, but we'll try and get that fixed up as quickly as possible. In the meantime, we are up against Adem, who has a interesting sand team. So we're definitely going to be fighting over the weather in this scenario. They've also got access to Tailwind. So we're definitely going to try and bring our weather to shut down their weather. And then I think Meganium is going to be our MVP here. Dragonite has, yeah, few options there. Archeliodon, few options, but I think we're going to need Meganium to navigate potentially their Basculegion and or Garchomp. Okay, so they're leading with Garchomp and Aerodactyl. Too nervous to eat berries. That's great. We don't have any berries. So let us... Expecting Earthquake here, and I don't know if there's much we can do about it. We could Wave Crash and Pelipper. So they're in a dominant position to be Earthquaking right now, but they've decided to go Sand just as we randomly decided to go Weather. So that's worked out in our advantage. So yeah, I wouldn't see an Earthquake then, but we get a Wave Crash in the rain, which is enough to OHKO their Garchomp. And yeah, that's put us in a commanding lead. That was me worried about an Earthquake on Sneasler that decided to swap into Pelipper. So they've caused this. So yeah, we're locked into Wave Crash. Do we Wave Crash their Tyranitar slot or their Aerodactyl slot? I reckon we Wave Crash that and we try for a Tailwind. Because I'm expecting their Aerodactyl to also Tailwind, but they've withdrawn Tyranitar and they've sent out Excadrill. So just straight into a Wave Crash. Focus Sash, so not terrible for them. I'm worried the Aerodactyl hasn't made a move yet. Why has an Aerodactyl made a move yet? There it is. Okay, so yeah, because our Basculegion's faster. So they go for the Tailwind, we go for the Tailwind. Everything is as it was. So yeah, now we just keep Wave Crashing. And we should be okay to Weather Ball their Excadrill. So I'm expecting Tyranitar to come back in. But Excadrill protects. So we'll get our last Wave Crash off onto their Aerodactyl, which should KO, and it does. We'll lose our Basculegion here, but it's taken out a good heap of their Pokemon, so, and then yeah, Weather Ball into Protect. Now we decide, yeah, Sneasler is the perfect time to bring Sneasler in, because Sneasler can take out both, really. Excadrill just protected, so Sneasler Fake Out Pressure on their 1 hit point, forces them into trying a double protect. But then even after that, we can close combat their Tyranitar to seal the deal. So, no, don't want to... No, they're just going to forfeit, yes. They saw the end that we had in line for them and didn't want to hang around. So that's given us a win to end it on, I reckon. So, yeah, bit of fun, bit of Rain Team. Obviously, there's a bajillion other teams out there now that we can go and play around with, but we'll wrap it up there for today. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate your support. Until next time, take care and enjoy. Thank you.